Hey, y'all, welcome to a morning edition of Lakers Therapy for Sunday, March 12th. For today, we're going to talk about the Lakers win over the Raptors just last Friday. We'll talk about a healthy D'Angelo Russell and as well Anthony Davis, who's been blowing it up lately. So, my name is Paul, and with me today is David. Say hi, David.
Hello.
Perfect. And Rahi.
Hello, Laker Nation. Let's go.
So, I think I want to talk about the game, but I kind of was thinking starting with D'Angelo Russell, if that's okay with you guys.
Let's
Yeah.
go, D-Lo.
He was, I think on Thursday, we learned that he was expected to play. He was out for the previous 6 games. I didn't know what to expect. He was on, I was like, is he going to be on a minutes restriction? We haven't seen D'Lo a ton, like over the, like recently. And also there's a lot to catch up on. Anthony Davis isn't blowing it up. But what do you guys think of his production on Friday? What do you guys think about the game? Yeah, what do you guys think about it all overall?
Well, a much needed shot in the arm. His offense, his playmaking, his ability to bring the team chemistry together on the floor. LeBron out. AD did not have a great night offensively. He was still very a team player and making sure, he wasn't pouting or anything. But D'Angelo took the team on his back. The rest of the guys joined him, and he really led the team to the win because we were down in that fourth quarter early on, but we won convincingly at the end.
Yeah. His performance was tremendous. Just we haven't had a score like that from the backcourt in a good while. Just being able to spot up three in transition. Like I don't remember the last player that we had that could do that consistently.
You have to go back to Ingram.
Yeah, right? Even Ingram was inconsistent.
Oh, he was a
And
big guy.
but yeah, I mean, D'Lo was
But
just throwing it up, and it was again, and it like not only was it the type of scoring that was like that pushed us forward, it was the type of 3-pointer that deflated the Raptors.
Yeah.
They were pushing hard, and all of a sudden, boom, bottom three, deflates the other team. They try to just crawl back, get the points, boom, another spot of three. It just completely destroyed them that way.
If you remember that one, essentially guarding two guys at once, stole the ball, passed it ahead to Gabriel, and then one pass to Russell, and he just shot it, I don't know, 26, 27 feet, it feels like.
Yeah.
All net. Raptors going home.
all net. And I remember when we drafted Russell, it was even then, like that was like 5 years ago, 6 years ago. Even when that happened, the talk was we haven't had a guard like this in a long time. So even before Russell came, so the Lakers haven't had a guard like him for a long time. We've seen Lillard, we've seen like Steph, John Morant, Devin Booker, all these other guards come into the league, and the Lakers haven't had that for such a long time. So I think that was what excited about him when we drafted him, and seeing his like highlights from Ohio State was pretty cool. When like I said in the chat, like when he went to the Nets and I got to see him blow up there and became an All-Star, that was like, okay, man, that I wish we had him back. It was cool to see. I'm glad he's on the team. But yeah, he was missing, I think, from this team. We needed someone like that, that's just confidence, that can just score, and can be clutch. He's kind of got that clutch gene a little bit.
Yeah.
We saw that when he was here.
I mean, in that post game interview he had, like he just talked about how he could feel the energy of the game, and he could feel the flow of his teammates, and at those specific moments, he's like, I take that gamble. Like this could either high risk, high reward. If I make this shot, then that propels us forward, and the energy is gonna explode. If I miss it, it's not gonna be good. But I know I'm not gonna miss it because he's just that confident.
That was one of the best post-game interviews I've heard in a long time. He had bars. He was just dropping lines.
Right.
If we had a training camp, what do you say? If we had a training camp, we'd be unstoppable.
No, sky's the limit.
Yeah, the sky's the limit. But we didn't, and the sky's still the limit. Drop.
He was dropping bars.
It was a little. Yeah, it was a little like I was like, okay, pump the brakes, in and now. Um, Exciting to see. He had 28 points, 5 for 8 from three, 9 assists. I mean, he had a pretty solid game. He had 4 turnovers. Some of the turnovers were like looked like it was rusty. He would look like a little bit rusty. Also, him and AD, I think I was like mentioning he and AD need to develop more chemistry together. I really enjoyed the Julius Randle and D'Angelo Russell show back
Yeah.
in the day.
Yeah.
I am looking forward to seeing that with either LeBron or AD, but I think D'Lo is gonna play well with those guys
Yeah,
once they kind of all figure it out.
I'm loving the D'Lo Austin Reeves show right now.
Yes.
These two just
Yes.
wreak
All right, let's talk about
havoc.
Austin.
Like they slip in and out of the offensive scheme really easily. Like they're like, okay, we're gonna run the offense, we're gonna do this, or this next play, I'm gonna do what I feel like doing. Like
You
what?
don't need to run plays for Reeves.
It's
Reeves is a hooper, and he gets his.
it's crazy. Like
He gets his.
the end of the third quarter,
Mm.
abysmal third quarter, right? And then all of a sudden, Reeves starts cooking. Like he's attacking the basket, drawing a foul, attacking the basket, drawing another foul, drops Gary Trent Jr.
Man, that was so good. That was so
Fucking,
good.
he fucking collected his bones on that one. Fucking he slid into the fucking stands.
Yeah.
What and he what and then he pulled up for the real smooth mid-range jumper.
Yeah.
Next play after was the next play, chase down block steal from behind, like super smooth. But yeah, that kid is wild. He's a second year in the NBA, but he's playing like a vet,
Undrafted.
undrafted.
Not even making $1 million of it.
And like
He just hoops.
I was watching like some of his college highlights, and he was a scorer. Like he could score, but like, and I could kind of see what Palinka and the team saw when they recruited him, but I don't even think they knew what they were getting, like with him when they picked this kid up.
They knew he had game. They knew he could lead. Well, he led his team, but you can't translate some players from college to NBA in a good way or a bad way.
Huh.
There are plenty of guys that blow it up in college, and you think they're going to be a Hall of Famer, but no.
Like,
Injuries are not injuries. It doesn't happen sometimes. Remember Thomas Robinson? We had him for a year or two. He was a top 3 pick, I want to say, by the Kings. I think he's playing in Europe now or China.
So Austin was a plus 26
oh
on the night.
Jesus
The
Christ!
the team, like I'll just give you for reference. Anthony Davis was a minus 11. Jared Vanderbilt was a minus 10.
And he
Brett
had a
Brown
good
was a minus 10. Malik Beasley was a minus 21. D'Lo was the only one on the positive, but he was stuck with that first squad, so kind of brought him down. He was a plus 4. Austin 26 plus 26. Dennis Schroeder 32. Dennis Schroeder had a night too. He bailed us out a lot, I think.
Yeah,
Schroeder,
he's changed.
Since the trade deadline, I don't know what's going on with him. He's been tearing it up. Like he like these like floaters, like these like attack the basket floaters, like he just drops it in. I was like, what the fuck?
He thinks there's another $84 million offer coming
Seriously, his how he sets up the offense isn't the best, but he gets people involved and he scores when he feels like he needs to create space for everyone else.
Yeah.
So, and that's all we need him to do. Like off of a bench, he's like playing like 6th man of the year.
Yeah.
I think that's key off the bench because he was like kind of the starter while Russell Westbrook was coming from the bench. The bench is perfect for Schroeder. He comes in as a change of pace. He's fucking explosive. And he really I think that chemistry of the bench team is like the old squad. The new squad, all the new players are like on the starters, and he's got his guys on the bench, and they come in, they're gunning. So he kind of is on that role for sure. And he's always had that, like the sneaky jumpers, sneaky like floaters. Um, but it's just cool to see him. I'm glad that they're all like gelling because it could have
Yeah.
been the opposite. We get a new players, people are upset. He wants to be a starter, you know, all that kind of stuff. But he's kind of embraced it.
He's playing the Rondo role.
The Rondo role, yes.
He's the Rondo.
And I usually get pretty upset when I see Darvin Ham just sneak in those 3-guard lineups. But dude, that 3-guard lineup works.
Depends on the 3 guards.
It
If
depends.
2 of them is Pat, Evan,
Yeah.
Westbrook, then it's not gonna be nice.
Yeah. This 3-guard lineup of D'Lo, Austin Reeves, and Schroeder, that's a sleeper teams. Other NBA fans who don't know, that's a pretty good sleeper lineup right there.
Yeah,
It's a
like
balanced lineup that can shoot and play make
yeah.
and play some defense when they want to.
And like that, it's only the type of lineup that would work. Like it's for when LeBron's off the floor and we go small. Like the scoring punch that that 3-guard lineup has is just insane. And they give each other enough space, which is really cool. AR is gonna attack, Schroeder is gonna facilitate, D'Lo's gonna like just swing and shoot.
So yeah, I think to get on to more of the bench, I mean, we talked about those guards, and Rui had a nice game. I was pleasantly surprised to see Rui back scoring, and he looked confident out there. Let's see, Rui ended up with 16 points of his own and plus 21. And he looked good out there. What did you guys see from Rui?
He's doing a really good job of being active. I think he had kind of a funk for a few games where we were like, where is he? And apparently he had some kind of talk with the coaching staff and like, you got to attack the boards and that'll lead to everything else. He has some skill set that the rest of the team and a lot of the NBA doesn't have. He has that mid-range shot that's almost automatic. You don't see that anymore. He attacks the basket when he looks like a linebacker. It's like Khalil Mack, like he's swole and he's attacking the basket and no one's going to get in his way.
I think I heard an interview just talk about how he was like a volume shooter. Like he had his hands on the ball majority of the time. You know, not majority of the time, a large bulk of the time in Washington. So he's switching gears for his offense, playing with us, where he's only getting it at certain times, and he needs to immediately score as soon as he touches the ball. So I think that he's getting used to that. I think his 3-point shooting, his spot up 3-point shooting still needs a lot of work. He missed some really wide open threes.
Yeah.
But his defense, just being the big guy in there and following out in the wing and into the paint, he's great. And
I think
that dunk he had was scary.
I think one thing about him, he's one of those guys that was a lottery pick. And a lot of times when a team has a lottery pick, you think that person's going to lead your team and be a star or be an all-star potentially. Maybe that was too much pressure on him. It wasn't the right role or franchise for him. But being on the Lakers with bigger stars, playing kind of a Rick Fox, Robert Horry, like getting like into that kind of lane, that's your niche. And that's where I think he can thrive and hopefully keep him and he can develop that a little more.
That's a good
I always compare to historical Laker figures.
No, but that's
you need to look at other teams.
But that's what we should be trying to like model, like those championship teams won it for a reason. They had all these like star players but in role playing positions.
Yeah. Without Fox, Fisher, Brian Shaw, Derek Fisher, that team doesn't win. Even without Luke Walton, the next generation doesn't win. Same goes with like the KCP, Rondo, Caruso team.
And I think one thing that you touched on, David, is with thinking about back to the guards and what you said is like they can be off ball because they might have been used to being on ball before. All these guys are pretty good at being off ball. Like D'Lo, it can be just a shooting guard because LeBron is going to have the ball most of the time once he comes back. D'Lo can just go around and be like a Klay Thompson or a Steph Curry and just like run around screens, go I remember that. What is that play that Luke used to run, like the elevators? I remember if you remember that play where like the two screeners would just
Backdoor
close.
cut.
I don't know what it's called, but it looks cool, and we're a lot for him. But Schroeder can play off the ball. He's just a cutter. Same with Reeves. They don't need a lot of like on ball time to be effective. And Rui, same. Like he can do that now.
To talk about
Bench was
our fourth guard, our non-existent fourth guard in like Blake Beasley.
who's our,
And then,
oh, okay.
since we traded
He
for
has
him,
had a slump.
Yeah.
that's who he is. So he's feast or famine.
Has he always been like that? I mean, I'm
Yeah.
not. I have not been familiar with his game.
He's either on fire or he's 1 for 7. You know,
All right, let me give you the last 5 games for Malik Beasley. The last game he was 1 for 5 for 4 points against the Grizzlies, 1 for 6 for 5 points against the Warriors, 1 for 4 for he had 12 points, but I guess he had some other shots. The Timberwolves game, 1 for 6, not bad. And then before again, OKC, 3 for 12. That's kind of what we expected, but I was hoping to get a little bit more balance, like a little bit more of we have one rough night, but the next game he's gonna be on fire.
You
So he's
know,
been kind of in a slump.
this reminds me of all the other shooting slumps that shooters get when they're on the Lakers. I don't know what it is. It like
Don't say it.
in
Don't
the
say it.
in the
not a
first
curse, David.
in the first month or two when we get a good shooter, they hit this huge slump because they don't understand what to do with these wide open shots. Like I feel like the wide open shots fuck with their head. Right? Like they
Think
need
too much.
they think too much. I'm like, why do I have like 3 seconds to take this shot? I better not miss this. Oh shit, I missed it.
I was gonna say, let me get a prediction from you for tonight. So they're playing today. They're playing the Knicks. Does Malik Beasley break out of the slump? What do you think he's gonna go for? He's been averaging, and just to give you a reference, he's been averaging 2.8 makes on 7 attempts over the last 10 games.
Yeah,
What do you guys think?
I don't think he's gonna break his average. I think he's gonna 2 or 3. He's gonna make 2 or 3 shots.
I agree. 2-3 shots. Hopefully he can attack the basket a little bit, get to the line, sink a couple free throws. Maybe your confidence gets up when you see the ball go through the hoop. Maybe I think he'll get north of 10 points tonight, but maybe not a great shooting clip.
And I mean, we can't rely on the rest of the team doing what they did the last game.
Mm-hmm.
So I feel like he maybe get only like 6 points, but we probably need him to get at least 12, 14 points, right?
Big thing, AD needs to show up again tonight.
Yeah.
He can't have another 8-point game. Even if the rest of I think he needs to get back up because the Knicks are 39-30, which is not bad. They're 6th in the East, and they were playing really good. They are 7-3 in their last 10 games. They're doing okay right now.
I mean,
so we need to play well.
This is the second night of a back-to-back. They lost last night. I think they went all out too, right?
But it was in LA against the Clippers, right?
Yeah.
So it's not no flight, no travel, just whatever club they got messed up at last night is the only thing weighing on them.
They're a younger team except for D Rose and Randall.
Yeah.
So I'm not sure how well they do in road conditions.
I mean, okay. Well, Jakob he played his role. He didn't do a lot on offense, but he was there on defense. He was everywhere. He was making a presence. To AD, he kind of disrupted his game. He also disrupted a lot of the guards who wanted to attack the paint. He kind of would close up, take a step forward, and they were scared to go at him and attack. So he kind of played a perfect game, I think, even though we won. I thought that we should learn from what they did against us because I think they kind of neutralized AD, who coming into this game was having an incredible 10-game stretch. The game before this, the Grizzlies, 30 points and 22 rebounds, a beast against the Grizzlies.
Yeah.
Against the Warriors, 39 points, 8 rebounds. Before 38 points against the Timberwolves. Place.
One thing about AD
What
having that 8-point game and getting the ball denied to him a lot in that Raptors game, how about we make a little more in-game adjustments? Let's set some high picks and have him roll to the basket, get a mismatch, get an alley-oop. You know, if you see that's happening the whole game, maybe, I mean, yeah, the rest of the team was rolling, but you also got to keep him in line for the, you know, for the rest of the games. He's got to, I don't know, make some adjustments starting.
I think Ham tried to make adjustments, and I don't think it worked. Like they were double teaming him off ball. There's not much we can do, you know. And they only started getting off of him when Reeves started getting hot. I think at one point when the rest of the team was hot and AD was like, you know, cooled off, I think he probably just told Ham to let him stay off the court and let the guys cook in there.
Well, Wendy Gabriel was a good part of the run, and the players said, keep him on the court. Even AD, I'm cool, keep him on the court. He's earned it.
That's cool to see. Like, I think we don't have AD has never been like a selfish player, but sometimes you want him to be. Like, I want you to take more shots. I want you to be more assertive. I want you to go out there and dominate. Yeah. But that last game, I was like, okay, let's give him a break tonight. And we won the game. Nothing wrong with it. But you're right. Darvin Ham needs to figure out some in-game adjustments. Because what the hell? We can't just let our superstar just be completely taken out of the game and then say, like, you let Wayne and Gabriel take my spot. You know, like, it can't be that easy. Yeah.
I mean, there was playoffs are around the corner. You got to shorten rotation, and you need to adjust in game all the time because you're playing against a team. Let's say it's game 4 of whatever series. They already know you.
Yeah. I felt like Darvin a little bit took the approach of like, well, I guess I got D'Lo's pretty hot. Let's just play through him. You know, I don't got to do a lot tonight. But I think, yeah, like you said, Rahi, like, it's gonna get harder. These teams and these practices. Well, if we get into a 7-game series, they're gonna be able to scout and game plan every night, and then how are we gonna combat that? We have to have our same kind of thing going on to defend that and go over those.
Yeah, Ham, he really depends on like the player's instincts in game. So I'm gonna set you up, but you'll figure it out the rest of the way, okay?
Different management styles, right? He's like I'm gonna hype you up. I'm a hype man. But it's you know. I'm not gonna take any of the credit. It's all you. And you're like, sometimes maybe you need a little bit more.
I do my job in practice, and you guys figure it out during the game.
What have you guys been seeing from AD over the last few games? No D'Lo, no LeBron. I mean, he's been kind of dominating, but what are you guys' thoughts on that?
He's been in line to put the team on his back. LeBron has been saying, "Hey, this is my year 20. Let's make this your team now. I'll be your Robin." And he hasn't done that till of late. I mean, yes, he was injured here and there. Like, he wouldn't take that role on because LeBron was still the man. So it's good to see that he can do it for, now a short stretch of time. Let's see it for a longer period of time.
I mean, that's always been the problem, right? Like, we always knew he's really good. He has the skills. He can dominate in a game, but always gets injured. Gets injured for a length of time, month, few weeks, and then always takes time to ramp up. And it takes him so long to ramp up from 0 to game ready again or to this level. Take him 2-3 months to get back to this level. Times after an injury. So, and it's just constantly just like eating the cycle. So he hasn't been able to take over.
Yeah.
So, but this stretch has been fantastic. I want to see him extend the stretch, just like what Rahi was saying. Like, I want to see him extend the stretch all the way to the end of the season, whenever that will be. But I'm very skeptical that he can keep up this pace.
Yeah. I'm stoked. It feels like we got the old AD back right now. Let's see if he can sustain it. And we need the team to be at full health. I'm hoping that LeBron comes back before, we have at least a couple games with him before the play-in. We can get into that projection in a minute, but I think we need a little bit of time to gel. D'Lo and LeBron coming back with AD being a beast. You saw what happened when D'Lo comes back. AD was kind of disappearing again. We can't have that. So they need to all be able to be running at full strength.
Mm-hmm.
I'm looking forward to it. Awesome. That's the game. Like, I think we were talking about projected standings. I don't know how you guys feel right now. We are currently in. Oh, I just lost it. We're in 9th place. We're no longer tied with anybody, right? I think we're just own 9th place right now since that was.
Yes.
We're a game and a half from 5th place.
Or 2 games.
2 games from 5th?
I think so.
Okay.
Yeah, the Clippers own the 5th, and they're 11 back. We're 13 back.
Yeah. So in the last pod, I said I think we can get 6. 7 or 8 is more reasonable, though. However, due to this run, we're doing well. Some other teams dropped. I'm saying forget 7 or 8. Definitely 6. We have a chance at 5th. Clippers stumble up a little more. We can do that. It's not out of reach at all. It's not too greedy at all.
If we can get the 5th or 6th, okay, I am more than happy. If we can get the 7th or 8th, I think we need to get 7th or 8th. If we get, I don't think I'd like us to get 9 or 10, even though I like our chances. Having home court advantage with this crowd who's hungry. This crowd was fucking rocking on Friday.
Yeah.
That would be exciting to have a play-in game against anybody in the crypto. Hard for me to say crypto arena.
I mean, it won't happen, but imagine Clippers drop, and then it'll be play-in against Clippers in crypto.
If the Clippers get home court, the Lakers, that would be hilarious because
it'll be purple and gold.
Oh yeah, and then I don't know. That would just be awesome to watch.
Yeah, it'll be exciting.
It'll also be nerve-wracking.
Yeah,
it'll also be nerve-wracking. Okay, I can't discount Kawhi.
Yeah, but and then playing against Russ in the playoffs. Oh man.
It's okay.
Let's avoid this game.
He's already helped us be out of the playoffs. Now he can help the Clippers be out of the playoffs when we get to that point.
I mean, he's such a mixed bag because if you look at his stats sheets, he's not doing terrible for them. But if you watch the game, it's when he's scoring and when he's not scoring is like really telling about like some of the issues he has.
I think with Westbrook, you can look at the plus minus. When he's on the court, is the team winning or losing? I think with plus minus with Russ, you can. With other players, it's hard because they don't have the ball as much and they don't have any contribution. With Russ, he has the ball, or he's like default on defense. He'll put up good numbers. He'll put up good assists, rebounds, points. But is the team doing well? Are they winning or are they losing?
And his turnovers.
That's the key to watch with them.
He's keeping the ball out of Kawhi's hands.
Yeah.
It's great.
Dude, I just remembered Dennis Schroeder had a lot of turnovers this past game.
Yes.
Oh, we've been suffering from a lot of turnovers since LeBron went out. I think it's like these guys don't know how to like sometimes run an offense. Like this is a bad pass, bad decision. What were you thinking? What were you thinking there?
That Dennis Schroeder whip. He got the ball immediately, whipped it, and it was like 15 feet away from D'Lo.
Okay, D'Lo had one of those too, though.
Yeah. Yeah.
in the last game.
Where he was trying to throw to
Um,
AD, it's like, why couldn't you reach that? And AD's
Yeah.
like, I'm not 10 feet tall.
Yeah. And I think someone's been trying to throw lobs. I can't remember who it is, but the Beasley someone's trying to throw lobs to Rui. And I'm like, stop. Don't throw lobs to Rui. He can't jump that high.
You can jump with a
He's
running
not that
start.
explosive.
Who was that?
Yeah.
Was it
I think
Vando?
it might be Malik.
Or it was Malik?
No, I don't think it's
Okay.
Vanda. I think it's Malik.
Yeah.
He's had a couple of those now where I'm just like, no, please. Um, So
even
we're in
really
ninth.
looked at that alley oop. He's like, what? I can't get to that.
Yeah.
He didn't even try to jump.
Yeah. So we're in ninth. Play the Knicks today. I don't know if we can get like into the seventh or eighth today. I think the Mavericks do play today, but I don't think the Timberwolves do.
But if you look at this week's schedule after today, Pelicans Tuesday, Rockets Wednesday. Rockets, yes. Pelicans, I think so.
Is
And
Ingram
then
is
we
still
got
out,
the
right?
Mavericks on Friday.
Ingram is still out.
Is he?
Yeah, I think so. I think it was
Oh,
like
is
an
he?
ankle sprain or something, right?
Uh-huh.
But yeah, I mean, they're still without Zion, regardless.
Yeah.
I'm not scared about those teams anymore at all. Like I think the Mavericks are the ones that I'd be interested to see what they do, but they're also like looking dangerously close to falling out of the play-in altogether too. Like all these teams.
Yeah.
We're the only team with a lot of momentum kind of coming into this. So
Yeah.
Yeah,
that's just
Kyrie's
nice.
kind of ruined their vibe.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And he's given some awkward interviews.
Yeah. Yeah. Honestly, guys, keeping this core together with D'Angelo versus Kyrie and more vet minimum dudes. Come on.
We really lucked out by not doing that. Like this has the same vibes as when we missed out on Kawhi and Pelinka pulled out that whole bubble team on us out of like that last second. I remember Roddy and I were in Vegas watching it on our phones. Like, what?
Oh, yeah. We were at Top Golf.
Yeah.
Right after the Summer League game, and on the little TV it said Clippers get Kawhi Leonard. 10 minutes later, Clippers get Paul George.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But then
you guys were out there?
Yeah.
It was my bachelor party. We went for Summer League. And then the next day at Summer League, Pat Bev walks into the arena flexing, screaming, "I'm gonna win a championship."
Oh, he did. Yeah.
Good Pat Bev, former Laker. I think maybe we can talk about the Lakers' number one defensive rating to close out the pod. Rocky, you pulled the stat in the chat. Like, yeah, what have you been seeing from the Lakers over the last few games?
Since the trade deadline, is the number one defense in the league. You know, points for, points against, steals, blocks. A lot of it, I think it's Vanderbilt's energy and his stats. That's a big help. The team is just cohesive. And when a team is cohesive and has a strategy in place and can execute the coach's orders, that's defense. That's what we had under Vogel in 2020. He had his type of players playing his defense. He was a defense guy. Ham also understands defense, and the players are doing what they're asked to do, and it's not an extra effort of going outside the box. Just do your job, and those guys together doing their job is the number one defense right now.
I think having healthy AD back, he's just disrupting everything and he's everywhere. So it's nice to see. Vanderbilt is just crazy energy, man. He's just like all you can ask for him is just like to be out there and make yourself like your presence felt out there. And he's just disrupting plays and he's very, very fast. I hope that with the training camp and with our training staff, that we can get him more like comfortable with being on the ball in transition and stuff like that. Because it's like a little mini LeBron out there sometimes. I'm like, oh yeah, he's got a little bit of that. But also the guards, Dennis Schroeder, Austin Reeves. They're awesome on defense.
Yeah.
Schroeder, for being small, he's just like a nuisance and getting in people's grills. Yeah, it's exciting to see.
Austin Reeves and Dennis Schroeder are playing like they're mini Pat Bevs on defense. They're like they're so tenacious. They're like getting in everyone's face, and just their hands are always trying to strip the ball. So I feel like Pat Bev rubbed off on them in that regard at least. And yeah, but
and both in a contract year.
Of course, right? Of course.
I think we might run into some problems once you run into some more scoring centers. Mo Bamba's out. We don't have him for at least the regular season. We'll see if we get any backup, but LeBron is kind of the backup center right now, I think.
Yeah.
And he's not even here. That's scary if we against Jokic, match up against Ayton. Even the Kings have what's his face?
Demontis. I keep on
Sabonis, exactly.
Yeah.
Demontis Sabonis. So if we don't have a backup center or a plan or something, I think it's going to be tough. But that's the only thing that I'm thinking maybe we might have a little bit of a gap. But for the most part, we've been playing lights out.
Because we need to pick up. You know who we need to pick up?
I know you're thinking Dwight.
Of course I'm thinking Dwight. He's the only one that's out of the slew of centers that are not in the league right now. He looks like the only one that's in shape.
Because he's tearing it up in Taiwan?
Yes, because he's at least playing right now.
Fights. Yeah.
Like he's at least playing. These other guys are like doing their own training camps or whatever the training they're doing at home. But he's actually playing. He's actually working out with the ball against another team. So he's the most game ready out of his group. And we need like what 10 minutes out of him just to like chill in the paint.
That's true too. But you see, Mo Bamba's, they said 4 weeks.
4 weeks to reevaluate.
Oh, good. That's different because I was saying the regular season ends April 9th. And that's basically 4 weeks. So if he could be ready for a first round matchup, all right. Otherwise, okay, maybe we do sign somebody.
I mean, it's the same.
Just have Gabriel hold it down for 15, 20 minutes a game while the rest of the team plays good team defense.
You know, also be good. Jay Huff.
Oh, he just went to the Wizards.
I know.
I like
don't
him
even
too.
say that right now.
Like literally the same week he got signed a 2-way to them, we end up needing a backup center. And he would have made so much more money.
Yeah.
He's on a 2-way contract. He makes like $70K. We would have given we would have signed him to like what? Like back-to-back 10 days at least.
That still sounds like $70K.
No, it's actually a lot for a 10-day.
Oh.
They can make 100 like.
I think he was a 2-way player on the league. No, he wasn't because he got snatched up. He was a 2-way player last year.
Our 2-way players are what? Max Christie and Cole Swider.
No, Christie's on a legit contract.
Oh, Christie's on track. Swider and who else?
Scotty Jr. and
oh yeah,
what's the other dude?
Cole Swider.
Yeah, Swider.
He looks like the Rob Pelinka lookalike.
You know who trips me out on the bench every time I see him? I'm like, who is this guy? This is Davon Reed.
Yeah.
So every time I see him, I'm like, hey, who's this guy? Who let this fan on the bench?
A good wing defender.
Huh?
He's actually a good wing defender. When we traded for him, I go, who? There's some YouTube clips of him like clamping LeBron down for a couple minutes.
Really?
Yeah.
Well, I mean, he never gets on the court, so I wouldn't.
No.
I wouldn't be able to know.
Damn. All right. Well, today the Lakers play the Knicks. I'm really hoping that we can win tonight. We'll get to see Julius Randle back in action.
Yeah.
I always love seeing Randle, even though sometimes he can be a little bit reckless. But
I love him.
He is. I still love him. Yeah. Hope we win. That will bring us up to at least 500. We're now 33 and 34.
500.
we would get to 500 for the first time of the year because we lost immediately against the Warriors in that opening day. And that would help us, of course. And let's hope that everyone else loses.
Hmm?
We can get that fifth seed, like you said, Rahi.
Yeah, yeah.
Yeah.
Hopefully this week, I think 4-0 is possible. We'll see. Let's go.
If we get that fifth seed, we end up playing what, the Kings?
Or Suns. Right now, it's the Suns, if it's today.
Yeah, or not Suns.
But
Well,
it still could be the Grizzlies.
Grizzlies, they're gonna be without Ja for another 5 weeks? Or no, 5
No.
games.
Yeah, games.
Yeah. And I don't see the Suns being able to hold on to that.
Yeah.
And
See,
They
and
traded away a lot of role players for KD, who's not even around.
exactly. And Darren Fox and Malik Monk are just a great combo together right now. I don't see them losing that second spot.
Yeah.
no, I think the
I
Kings
don't
on a
see-
roll.
Yeah. Yeah.
If we get them in the first round, we're taking it. I'm not taking guys that never made the playoffs before over LeBron and AD.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Agreed.
that's for sure.
Even if they are playing great, playoffs is a different season.
Tough to see Malik. But there was no way we could keep him.
No,
There's
not
no-
with those
no.
1-year deals.
It
It's
was
like
impossible to keep him. Can we talk about how we're gonna keep these guys on this team and going forward? Because I
Go for it.
I love this team. I love the energy. Every time like a play happens, these guys are just like on their feet, cheering each other on. Like I know we can't keep all of them, but I want to keep every single player, even Davon Reed. I just I don't want to fuck up this team. So even with this non-existent player, I don't want, if it's either keep all of them or lose a bunch of them, I'd rather keep all of them.
I'm okay with Beasley being swapped out for someone else that can be a little more consistent. Vanderbilt staying next year. He's under contract. D'Angelo, I think the contract he has now, he got with the Warriors. The Warriors signed him to, which I think was 4 years, 120. If I'm not mistaken. I think if we can give that basically same range to him, hopefully we can keep him. If he's wanting way more than that, then I don't know.
I mean, we're trying to extend him 2 years, right? If he's
I mean, he's our player, so
I think,
actually.
Yeah, I think some of the players that maybe on the fringes maybe won't come back, like the guys you said, even Lonnie. Lonnie's kind of been hot and cold.
Yeah.
But Malik, for him being so also very hot and cold, he demands a lot of gravity. People are chasing after him, though he doesn't. Though he throws up another 1 for 7 night. But if they don't, then he can get on fire. So I like him. I don't know who else we can get for that money. I think a lot of it is going to have to be like either sign and trades or extending a lot of these guys, because I don't think we'll be able to get them through a regular salary cap, like signing free agent signings. Yeah.
Ideally,
I don't know.
Extend a lot of them. Lonnie Walker, he got the mid-level exception this past year, and he's not playing up to that. He's not defending up to that. Like early on, he could score.
Right now, either the trade.
Yeah. So I don't see them holding on to Lonnie. And it was the 1-year contract. Like we kind of knew we were gonna lose him. It would feel even worse if he was on fire and we still know we're gonna lose him. So this is kind of like the best case scenario. The guys with better contracts for us are the ones doing well.
Yeah.
We'll see also who, once we get into the playoffs, who steps up, who shuts down, and maybe that way we can see like who do we need to bring back who is going to help us win a title if we don't win it this year.
Yeah.
All right. Anything else before we sign off?
Just waiting to go 4-0 this week.
Let's do it.
It sounds
get into existence.
Hey, you already said when we make the playoffs. That's you spoke into existence. Okay.
Let's do it. All right, you guys.
Yeah.
That does it for today's show. you're listening to this, please make sure you hit the like button, subscribe to our channel for more Lakers content. All right, peace.
All right.
Bye, guys.
Laker Nation.